spinning, spinning. We're live.
live. We're back,
Did it
guys.
work? Yes, we're live. Okay. Woof.
And we're lip syncing much better now.
That was some crazy technical difficulties we were going through, right?
I'm not sure the boot to the computer actually helped all that much.
Well, I mean, it's working.
It's working now. It completely
Hit
froze
it
up
with
on
your
this
shoe.
end.
It worked. It worked. Dickie Farley's first back in.
Oh.
Dickie, what's happening, man? All right. Okay.
Zero. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back, everybody.
Gosh.
All right.
You just never know what's going to happen on these shows, do you? Right.
That was like 15 minutes of like real weirdness.
If you think it's weird, it's weird. Tony and Kiwi 2.0, exactly.
All right, so everybody piling in now. Wow, you're beating me. Oh no, okay, all right. Because for a second there you had
Don't
more.
panic.
Yeah.
Must have kicked in. Very good. Very funny, Jeff. Yeah. A gay moment in TikTok. How good is a Ford 400 small block, building one on a budget for my 77 Mercury, making a Mad Max rig? How cool. A 400 small block. So you're talking about a stroked out 351?
The 351M.
Oh, the 350.
Or the 400M.
The 400M.
Yeah.
Is that a small block or a Cleveland?
It's a small block.
It's a small block. Okay.
I believe it is. Is it a Cleveland? Oh, geez, I don't even know.
I thought the
400M is a
Cleveland.
Cleveland block with wedge heads.
Is that what it
right?
is? Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Chevrolet is king. Well, how's the sound, guys? Too, by the way, did we fix the sound as well?
Hitting it with my shoe fixed the sound.
Or does he still sound like he's got a funny accent?
Oh, come on.
Kiwi did get a haircut today, even.
Let's see. I got a haircut in 1997.
Sounds good. Sounds nice. Sounds good. Okay. Sounds okay. That's good. Good.
Francis, looks like the shoe did it. Last thing we saw was Tony pulling off his boot.
Yes, fortunately, it's not smell-o-vision. I think he changed his socks the last time he got his haircut.
I took a shower this morning and put fresh footwear on.
Footwear.
Socks.
There you go. Well,
yeah, I saw that about the low-speed fan. Yes.
Jeff Hutchins, 400M is, who cares?
Somebody asked about low-speed fan being on whenever the AC is on. Yes, that's normal. That's supposed to be.
Kiwi sounds New Yorkie. Haven't been told that before. Dickie Farley screenshotted the picture of the end of the last live. Yeah, it was a little bit pandemonium there for a while.
Java Medin, how are you doing?
Paul Cavallo's a better test of sound. Fire up bottle rocket.
It's out of gas. It's out of gas. I start everything like every few days, whether it needs it or not. And, bottle rocket's out of gas. Let's see. Mimi and friends, because mine suddenly stopped working and now the high-speed fan comes on instead of the low speed.
That's the second part of
the fan is supposed to go on.
Presumably you're talking about the AC/heater fan.
It seems it almost took the place of the low-speed fan. Yeah, somebody more better familiar with those systems will tell you what that's about.
I know in my Dodge truck, it just decided it would be just go intermittently and stop and die and not turn on. And you literally just, because it's right at the bottom of the dash, you just give it a light kick. See, the kicking thing, it does work. And it would go for another month and then it would just die and then you'd kick it again and Kiwi stop touching buttons. Okay, I'm trying. I have a thing about buttons. Has Kiwi ever tried a mini bike yet? Not for many years.
You want to ride one of mine?
No, not with my knees.
Oh yeah, he'll die.
Well, I won't die, but it's just not a good idea because if I come off it, it'll not end well. Any thoughts on the impending crash in the auto market?
Oh, it's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
look at all of the numbers. This list. There's so much so much bad stuff happening right now in the not just the global car market, but the American car market.
Right.
The automakers, they're all bleeding cash. They're hemorrhaging cash. The average transaction price now is $47,000, and people are broke. They can't afford it.
Right.
So there's so many things going on in the market. It's like a multi-pronged attack. Kind of looks like it was done deliberately, over the course of several years, a decade or so. But yeah,
Why deliberately?
now you cross into conspiracy land,
Right.
and it appears that the powers that be have their financial interests someplace other than here. So by eliminating domestic automakers, you would have we collectively would have no choice but to buy from certain markets that are favored by the global money. Figure out who that is, but I mean it looks like it's a scheme that started with cash for clunkers and step by step, and here we are today. Yeah, the domestic auto market is in huge trouble. Do you guys wear boots? I wear boots. He wears those Croc things.
I do not wear Crocs.
He wears sandals.
Jandals occasionally in summer.
Oh God, that's so gay.
Oh,
Um,
that's why you keep inviting me back every week. I get it. Yeah.
You just show up. I don't invite you. I go start doing a live, and here you come through the door.
We really haven't had any visitors tonight. Though. We were
Not
on
yet.
a run.
Somebody's definitely got to come by here looking for. You know what really pissed me off? I had a guy come by. It was Sunday, right? I had the door open. I usually keep the doors closed. So old guy comes by and he's like, "I'm trying to make some money to get some scrap. I'm looking for scrap so I can pay my whatever it is I'm getting thrown on my thing." And he says, "Yeah, no problem, bro. Let me help you out, right?" So I had a pile of stuff out there, right? And he says, "Wait, I got some other shit." So I went through the whole shop, right?
Mm.
And I'm finding like all of these like random metal bits to throw in a scrap pile. He's never come back.
What, to get it?
He never came back.
Shit. He was probably looking for converters and
I have no idea.
radiators.
But now
and
I've got
stuff
this
like that.
giant pile of metal out front. Somebody wants to pick up some money for scrap. Stop by my place and just grab whatever's on the side there. Let's see. Kiwi shows up to get his money from Tony. It's the only way he'll ever get it.
Oh dear.
David Fernandez, how are the gas prices out here?
Mhm.
Extremely low. That's not lasting. We're
Extremely low?
Yeah, we're like 280 here in Murfreesboro. I know.
Is it really?
Yeah, I know in Franklin you
Good
guys paid through the nose
Yeah,
because it's the Franklin tax.
350.
Yeah,
350 a
288 here.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not going to last. That's not going to last.
Bravo, send him to Kiwi's trash can. There you go.
Scrap dude was looking for a handout in cash. Yeah, probably. But like an idiot, I take people at their words.
UP Tinkering, 350 where he is.
Yeah,
Zero, it's 499 where he is. Wow.
Yeah, it's different prices all over the country, but
yeah, 499's high. You must be in California, are you? But is zero out in California?
Just pay attention. Yeah, you're in California. Just pay attention to the price of crude. Just pay attention to the price of crude. And when you see crude make a jump, 2 days later it's going to show up at the gas pump.
Rebecca, in Oz, it's just under $2 a litre. There's 3.8 litres per gallon. So $2 times 3.8. Seven. Yeah.
$7. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's more expensive in New Zealand.
We're all going to be hot rod mini bikes before you know it. Dr. Art is leading the charge with all of the mini bike stuff. Did the boot work? Yes. Yes, it worked better than you could ever imagine.
Sacramento gas is $5.65 a gallon. Wow.
Ari, what's a liter? That's with the like puppies. You know what I mean? Like a mommy dog has a liter of puppies.
A litre is a metric measure of liquid volume. So there are 3.8 litres to an American gallon, and there's 4.4 to a imperial gallon, which is like English gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because American gallon's smaller than everyone else's gallon. That's how the politicians get you guys.
The
You think
truth,
you're buying a gallon, and you're actually buying about 7/8 of a gallon.
the truth is, back during WWII, the big one.
The big one.
Yeah. We, the United States, should have just kept bombing every friggin' body in the world until you finally gave up this metric silliness. Okay, that's where we made a mistake. They know we stopped at what, Nagasaki? Okay, we should have kept going until everybody was just on the same page, inches, feet, pounds, gallons.
2.78 for a US gallon. Not sure about that, Norm. I was always under the impression it was 3.8. Or maybe 3.78.
Hemi head 68 metric ton was always a silly unit. Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
So how many pounds in a regular ton?
2,000.
Even? 2,000 even?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not an odd number?
No, it's an even number. It's 2,000.
That's unusual.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What's a metric ton?
Well,
how many kilograms
1,000 kilograms.
How many cc's is that?
A lot. 4 quarts in a gallon, approximately.
Yeah. And 2 pints to a quart. Let's see. Faulkner fixes all diesel as a byproduct of making gasoline. Back in the day, it was considered waste. Kerosene is. Yeah, diesel.
I like
kerosene.
the Crash-a-Lot's comment.
What was that?
My dong is bigger in metric.
Yeah, you can't argue with that, right?
Possibly the wife can, but hey. You know.
Stray Bullet says we could have ruled the world. Yeah, we could have. We let it slip.
Well, that's Billy Bob. That's a creative spelling of a litre.
Cirque Dopsath and 6 blondes to a Nova.
What?
That's interesting. If you have a Nova, it's equal to 6 blondes. Well, you get 6 blondes into a Nova. Let's see.
Ari, that's funny. Ari used a little rainbow sticker to mark the metric drawer in his toolbox. That's funny. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Exactly.
I do have a drawer for metric shit. While I was a big supporter of the metric system, like now being here and working on all the old American stuff, the metrics are just like they get relegated to the like off worst drawer in the toolbox. You know?
Yep.
But a rainbow on there would be actually fitting. Yeah.
Yeah, Ari, do you use like an accent like he's got when you go into that drawer?
Mixing Justin Billy, and he's asking Justin
Billy Bob Holcomb. I bought the wife a metric tape. Best thing I ever did for her. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. It's a family show, bro. It's a family show.
Kiwi or Tony, what would you build for a street rod? 460 or a 429, and why? Well, very, very similar motors.
Yeah. It's flip a coin.
Yeah. Do what I did and stroke it out to the 460 out to 557.
Oh, it's a big shot. Look at my big Ford.
Yeah. It sits in the garage 363 days a year.
Be careful.
Yep. Okay. Oh, shit. Gonna do it again. No, we're all right. 460 is cheap. That's true. That is a cheap motor. Very plentiful.
This is not metric advice. No, Jokay, it's not.
0. Sanderson or Doug's headers? Don't think there's really much in it.
Yeah,
most of the mass-produced headers are, they're not tuned length, and they don't really scavenge off each other and stuff like that. They're just a freer flowing exhaust system than the cast iron manifold most of the time. Yeah.
Sergeant Mustang, have either of you seen a real clutched supercharger a la Mad Max?
No, my understanding is that is not a thing. there's not a clutch strong enough to hold the kind of power that they take to drive.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm calling BS on that. I've never seen it done. Don't believe it can be done.
But that's besides the point. It's a nonsensical thing because the supercharger is an efficiency pass. So let's just say you're living in Mad Max land, right? And fuel economy is like super important. You would want the supercharger running because it makes the engine more efficient. You'll actually people talk to people who run supercharged, engines on the street, and they'll say that they get fantastic gas mileage as long as the carburation is set up right. They get good gas mileage. So it would kind of be counterproductive to have the supercharger off and have the fuel coming through the carburetors and getting, having to traverse the lobes and everything and then come out of full out of suspension.
Well, typically the suction, I've seen it a couple of times on these supercharged Fords where the belt's taken off or something,
Right.
and the lobes will still spin at a much
Yeah, the
slower
vacuum
rate.
will pull.
Just the air movement tends
Yes.
to make them roll anyway. And if you get a supercharger that seizes up, it about strangles the engine. You've got like no power.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the point is, even when they're spinning under vacuum, as he's talking about, they're not spinning at an efficient rate. So
Yeah,
fuel is
it's
still hitting
restricted.
them, falling out of suspension. Right? You need the rotors actually really whipping things to keep the fuel atomized, or at least partially atomized. So a clutched supercharger would just be a very counterproductive thing.
Pontiac had an Eaton that was actuated. Mildly irritated Max. Kiwi, are you licensed for vehicle inspection, etc.? There's not a license here to be an inspector. It's not something that you need or can even get. It's not so much that you don't need it; you can't get. There isn't a specific license to be a vehicle inspector. The best, having experience with the cars you're looking at is the best license you can have. There are guys out there that their business is doing pre-purchase inspections, and they're usually techs of some description or bodymen of some description. But I had a guy years ago now. I had a guy came in with his 67 Firebird, and he'd had an inspection done on it, and they said it may have had some minor damage on the right rear. So, and he was also complaining that the back was kind of drooping a little bit on the right rear, same side. So got it up on the rack, dug around in the trunk a little bit. It had been hit really hard in the back, not might have had some minor. It had been hit really hard. The chassis was bent. The car wasn't sagged on that right rear. The body was sagged, like just pushed down.
That's like on my Charger.
And it was just twisted. Oh yeah.
That was how my Charger was.
And they just like put half a tail panel on it and joined it in the middle and done some bodgy repairs, painted it and sent it. And yeah, so he's paid his whatever he paid for his inspection and got bad information.
Anyway, why does UTG hate EVs so much? I don't hate EVs. I hate EV stupidness.
A good place to buy a 460 crate engine for a 72 F250. I don't know whether you can buy them as a crate engine, but you can certainly pick them up out of the old Ford trucks pretty readily, and some of the big bodied Fords of that 70s era. Nearly all of them had 460s, so they're not hard to find, but you're probably going to have to rebuild it. Yeah, but I don't think there's a crate available. You can get one of those the Ford Godzilla engine.
What are those about? Those about $75,000.
No, they're not that.
$80,000.
No, they're not that bad. I think they're 20 something, but yeah, that's kind of 600 horsepower, or whatever they are. That's kind of what you're going to pay.
No, there are guys out there that get 600 horsepower out of a junkyard 4.6 LS.
I'm talking about a crate engine.
A terrifying tornado on
brand spanking crate engine. Yeah, that's kind of the money you'd have to pay. But I don't think Ford is messing about with the 460s anymore.
318 Magnum, do they make a short rod for the LA Chrysler? Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure you can get custom rods made, but the standard rod length for all small block Mopars, regardless of cubic inch, is 6.123. So The only exception to that I know of, right, was the factory 305 race motor. Originally the Trans Am motor, and then they used it later in NASCAR, and some circle track applications. And that was a longer rod because they used a D-stroke crank on a 340 block to make the 305. And that rod was, God, I don't remember how much longer that rod was. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Let's see. Miles, man, even the 340. Yes, all regular production small block Mopars have 6.123 connecting rods. Easy number to remember.
Stray Bullet, you can find good low mileage 460 engines and RVs. Okay. Actually, that's true. That's true because I was offered one about 3-4 months ago. The guy was driving it down to his camper down to the scrapyard and wanted, the 460 ran great, but the rest of the camper was shot. And so
Did you grab it?
I didn't know. I would have had to go out there and try and. They're not the easiest things to get the engines out of.
I know.
There's a lot of Chrysler in there, like big block Chryslers and RVs.
There's a lot of really primo engines and they're always low mileage engines.
Yeah.
Any RV motor you get is usually like a 20,000 mile, 30,000 mile engine.
But they're a bear to get out of the damn thing, isn't
Yeah.
An absolute bear.
Blue button.
Zero, thanks for the plug. My channel there. Thank you, sir. I wanted a 469 for my XEV and 5,000 plus for one needing a rebuild. Wow.
What's a 469?
I'm guessing he hit the 9 instead of the 0.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he wanted a 460 for his XEV. That'd make the XEV scoot along. That'd be quite a cool. Oh, he actually corrected it there. The next line down, if we continue to read. Wow, 5,000 for one needing a rebuild. That's an Aussie, I guess, which just makes them that much harder to get. But yeah, no, you'd pay $400 or $500 for a tired 460 here. Seriously, $400 or $500 is all you'd need to pay.
Dude, you've only got 58.
58 likes and you have 226.
Nobody likes you.
What are so these are likes. What are the 228 watts?
228 people have tuned in to see me.
Oh,
you see, it's on my side, and 59 have tuned in to see you.
59 of them like me.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the benefits of cayenne pepper? No.
Is it good? I don't know. You're gonna.
The blue button again.
Cayenne pepper. That's what they put in that. They use that in the Louisiana, right? Like.
Yes, they put in all the what are they? The gumbos and stuff like that.
They put in everything, I think. Down here, 318 rebuilt for $1,000, 360 looking at 1,500. That's not bad, Tavo. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah. You're looking at $3,000 here. Well, and that's pistons and like going through and doing everything.
Cayenne, David Fernandez says cayenne pepper is good for high blood pressure. Interesting. Do you have high blood pressure?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I hope you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. How high is it? It's the silent killer,
148 over 90.
Oh.
Yeah, that's up there a little bit.
Yeah.
They want to put me on pills for it, but I'm pushing back.
I know I have blood pressure.
I need to reveal my 6-pack, and then my blood pressure will go down.
Don't reveal anything.
Not on live TV.
Revealing on my.
Seems fair.
I know I have blood pressure for sure.
B. Thiessen, what motor do you think will replace the Hellcat in the new 2-door Charger? I heard they were doing a V6.
I have no idea. I am so divorced from all of that stuff. But you know who isn't? You know who isn't divorced from all that stuff? Who's like on top of all of these things?
What? Who?
David Hakem.
Hakem.
You have no idea who he is.
No.
David Hakim.
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 Right.
Yes. You don't know who he is.
Sounds Arab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's like a lifelong Mopar insider. Like he's our age, okay.
You're right.
But he's been like from the time he was a teenager. He's been in Detroit and in the world of all of that
Yeah,
stuff. So
cool.
he knows where the bodies are buried. And if anybody knows what thing they're putting in these cars, it's going to be David. And we're doing a live with David, I believe Friday night at 7 o'clock. I gotta check up with him. So.
Cool.
Oh
Someone
my
just
God, a super chat.
a super chat. Let's have a look. No, you touch it. 'Cause
I'm gonna
I'll
touch it.
send it to the graveyard again.
Don't do that. We need that. Brazen Hammer. Thank you, sir. Just bought a 78 Vet. Only around 200 horsepower. Should I toss a 400 small block in it or run the 130,000 mile 350 until it dies? Also, cayenne pepper, good stuff. Um, honestly, you're not going to see much of a difference between the 350 and the 400.
No.
It on paper, it's like it's 50 cubic inches, but it doesn't really equate to that much. Because
it doesn't translate, does it? To
Yeah.
a lot more horsepower.
The
A 350, like out to 383 is a good strong engine. That's a better engine than the 400.
Yeah, but either way, just keep working with the 350. The 350 is geometrically superior to the other engines. So in other words, what I'm saying is that there's diminishing returns in cubic inches, and the 3D3 4-inch bore, 3.5-inch stroke, 3.48 is the superior geometry in that engine combination. So I would just work with the 350, and it's still a dime a dozen. There's still a dime a dozen. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. We're back.
You screwed the pooch again. Leave that vet alone.
Sergeant Mustang, do you see the internal combustion engine as having a future potential for innovation, or do you think they're already perfected? I'm going to say perfected because people have been innovating on the internal combustion engine for 150 years now, right?
Yeah.
Close to it. 18. Well, when did Benz with the diesel? That was 1870 what?
Yeah, that's 150 years.
Yeah. People have been screwing around the internal combustion engine and experimenting with it for 150 years now.
It's very wild what they're doing with the valve train now. The lifters and multiple position and pivoting lifters, and they're going wild into the valve train and lifters and multi displacement engines and stuff like that. And I think they're really getting to the end of the line.
Yeah.
They're getting, like the Mustangs, the latest Mustangs, they're getting 30 miles to the gallon.
Yep. Well, most of it's through the management systems.
Yeah, and making 460 horsepower. Whereas the old 289 wouldn't get 30 to the gallon.
Right.
And made 195 horse. So they've over doubled the horsepower, and they've certainly improved it by 50% the mileage.
I would say it's probably like 20% engine, like better ring packs and stuff like that, cylinder heads. It's probably 20% engine, 25% engine, 75% management.
Yeah.
But as far as like innovation on the actual internal combustion engine, you can't imagine the things that have been tried. I can't possibly see anybody reinventing this wheel in a new way. You look at like there are crankshaftless engines. Have you seen these things where the cylinders rotate in a barrel and they operate against an eccentric?
Yeah,
and there's no connecting rods. There's no nothing.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
There's no way to reskin the internal combustion cat.
We're talking about Kiwi. Here we go. Kiwi. What compression ratio would a 351 with closed chamber Aussie 302 head be? Yeah, that's a little. I'm not sure with that combination. I don't think it'd be excessive. Yeah, it'd probably be no more than 10-1, I wouldn't think, but that's not a definite number.
End of Time says, thanks, guys. You helped encourage me to build an impractical car to hurt myself with. I'm almost done and loving every minute of it.
That's the spirit. Our job is done.
Yes.
This is what we achieve.
Until you've hurt yourself, badly with something you've built, you really haven't lived. You've hurt yourself badly.
A couple of times,
Yes. Yeah. It's a badge of honor. If it don't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
It gives you the
Yeah, I was at the
ability to-
doctor's the other day, and she said to me, she said, "You work on cars, don't you?" And she's looking at all the scars on my arms. Like it's just
right.
a
It's only,
mosaic of scars. And I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" Yeah, but
my entire, like, everything is scar tissue. I just,
yeah,
but that's the way it is.
but I don't have carpal tunnel syndrome from sitting on a computer.
So how many people you know with like real bad 3rd-degree burns that the hair grows back?
That's unusual.
Right? Is that
Yeah.
crazy or what?
That's crazy. Anyway, just burn my finger shaving valves. Does it count? Of course it does. Yeah, absolutely. Didn't kill me or make me stronger. It just made me smell that way. Yeah, there's nothing like the smell of burning flesh, is there? That's never good.
Yeah, I've smelled a bunch of that.
I bleed wrenching every day. It's how I know I'm alive. There you go. Yeah, there's usually a new wound most days. Barracuda. Have you heard of a new Chevelle for 2024? I've seen some renderings of it. Yeah, it looks pretty nice actually. Yeah, it's a little puzzling to me that for all the governments trying to shut down the big engine cars and increase the average mile per gallon across fleets, the public seems to be just craving these muscle cars. The Mustang and all the different Mopars, the Chargers and the Challengers and and the Hellcats and the what is it, that 1040 Charger or Charger or Challenger, that 1040 horsepower.
Oh,
one they
yeah,
just
yeah,
released.
yeah.
Like it's a real horsepower war going on, and yet Chrysler's also talking about like no more Hemis.
Right. They're going with
So I
the
guess it's
twin
the last
turbocharged
hurrah.
inlines, the Hurricane 6, they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's what'll be in the Charger next?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm
So twin
totally.
turbo straight six.
Yeah, it's straight 6 with twin
Okay.
turbochargers, and the turbos mount directly to the cylinder head.
No, okay.
Yeah, if you ask, it's probably going to make a bunch of power, right? Like an EcoBoost, okay?
Right.
But if you ask me, what they're going to do is create a situation where the engine is always overtaxed, because I know that they're using this engine in like the Grand Cherokees.
Oh, okay.
So it's a relatively small engine. I think it's around 3 liters
Right.
with 2 turbochargers moving around a 5,000 or 6,000 pound truck. This thing is constantly working, constantly under pressure, and I can't see that as a recipe for longevity.
Tony would love to see a video of you visiting Dex's Jeeps in your neighborhood.
I've never even heard of them.
Super chat from Alpha 13 Dylan.
Well, thank you.
That sounds like a military kind of acronym, doesn't it? Alpha Bravo 10-4 Bully Leader.
Okay, what do you know about wheel spacers? Some.
Are they giving you some? Are they good?
Are they good or bad? Do they cause damage? I'm wanting to get 1.5-inch wheel spacers for my Ram 1500 daily. I think you'll be okay, right? 1.5-inch spacer on a Ram 1500.
Well, it's a reasonably heavy vehicle. 1.5 inches is quite a lot. Depends on the back spacing of your wheels a little bit too. Are you trying to get the wheels really poking out past the fenders? I'm assuming. My advice would be, if you're going to do that, get a spacer that bolts to your existing lug nuts and has another set of lug nuts.
Like an adapter.
So an adapter rather than a spacer. But you're going from the same bolt pattern to the same bolt pattern, but it does give you twice as many lugs holding the wheel on, so that they are stronger and they don't have the it's better as far as shear strength on the lugs themselves.
Well, Stray Bullet is saying that Ram will be breaking ball joints left and right. So that is something to consider, because the further out you space the wheel, the more leverage you're putting against the ball joints, or against the control arms. The more leverage you're putting on the spindle, right? So yeah, okay, that's a possible downside to it.
That video clip that was going viral where that little Kia like drove over a wheel and flew into the air.
Oh yeah, that's crazy, right?
That was a Dodge Ram that the wheel came off.
Oh, was it?
And the wheels were spaced out
Inch and a half
quite a
spacers,
long way. You know,
probably.
and that is a look that the truck guys like. And
Right.
I can't blame them for liking it, but it's just, yeah. And then I wouldn't be in a hurry to do it, but if I was going to do it, I'd do it with that adapter. So you've got like 10 lugs per wheel.
Just
or
make
twice as
sure
many lugs.
anytime you use an adapter, right? Just make sure, and here's the thing, most people forget, like they don't do it. Just make sure when you use an adapter that you retorque the lug nuts, right? You know, it's not just a one and done thing, right? After you've driven the car for, let's say, you know, you put like 20 miles on it, 30 miles on it, go back and retighten the lug nuts. Because that's what I find most of the time with wheel spacers, because they compress. You know what I mean? And as you're driving, it relaxes a little bit, and the lug nuts will loosen up, and over time, next thing you know, you're chewing stuff up. So make sure you go back and retighten them. I think you should be okay 1.5-inch wheel spacers.
Alpha saying, what's the difference between upping the back spacing versus wheel spacers? Depends on the back spacing. It kind of has the same effect, really. If you put a really deep dish wheel on, it's similar to using spacers, but you are at least bolting the face of the wheel to the face of the hub, so that your lugs or your wheel studs are doing the job the way they were intended to be done. So you don't have the high risk of shearing the stud off.
Okay.
When you've got a long stud with a spacer, they stretch, they flex, they torque this way. So it's just it's not a great thing. Like I think, you know, guys are probably sick of it, but I revert back to the New Zealand specs, which are super safety, and I think a 6mm or 1/4-inch thick spacer is it. That's it. No more. Anything else is illegal. And okay, sure, they're over the top on that safety stuff. I'll give you that. But
there's a reason
for 1/4-inch to 1.5 inches, maybe somewhere in the middle, might be.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I think like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch like that is fine. Once you get past that, it starts to.
And you start getting into scrub radius issues and stuff like that. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's what you really got to remember.
All right, Kiwi.
Yep.
VW Manxman from Manx. Yeah, what does kangaroo taste like?
I have no idea.
We have no idea.
I don't. I've never had kangaroo.
You don't throw a kangaroo on the Barbie?
Well, they might in Australia, but I've never experienced that delicacy. No.
You don't have kangaroos in New Zealand?
No.
Really?
No.
It's
an Aussie thing, Aussie only thing. Well, other than zoos and shit. Bribes don't exist in New Zealand. Absolutely not.
I did New York State inspections for a while, and yeah. Oh please, I don't want to talk about that. I don't know why I brought it up.
How do you know you have a spacer unless the wheel has a sticker on it? Well, usually you can just look and see them. Roo tastes. Hang on, who was that? Tavo. Tavo would know. Roo tastes like rich beef. Oh yeah.
But somebody else just said that it tastes tough.
Well, yeah. Well, they're very muscly little figures. So yeah, and obviously very gamey because they're wild. They're not domesticated. What does kangaroo taste like, Tony? Go to Jack in the Box to find out. Alligator, yeah, I haven't had alligator either, but I know a couple of people that have eaten it and say it's quite good. Or like crocodiles, kind of thing.
I eat beef and chicken.
Beef and chicken?
Yeah, I stop there.
Roo is tough.
Pork. I eat pork.
So it would appear that kangaroo is quite tough. Building a high-performance slant for street use, a 4-barrel or 2 2-barrels?
4-barrel.
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 Keep it simple. Scrub Ackerman, what? Yeah, you know about Ackerman. Well done, Mr. Cadman. Not everybody does.
Wait a second. How would a spacer affect Ackerman?
It doesn't.
Right, no.
I've seen a 3/4 ton Chevy with what must have been 3-inch spacers rolling down the road here in Oklahoma City, OKC. Ridiculous looking in His humble opinion. Yeah, 3 inches is. I don't care what word you got on there. That's going on dangerous.
Okay. Let's see.
Hemihead 68. What's the bird in New Zealand notorious for pulling trim and rubber off cars there? The Kia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's
He's not just making that
K-E-A.
up.
No, it's true. Like, people would, back in my early days, people would come in and they'd have a leaking sunroof.
Okay.
And so you'd have a look and the seal was just ripped to shreds. And
There's a bird that would do that?
they loved it. They'd rip the rubber out of your wipers. They're just little shits.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's bad. The South Island is really bad for it. And you'd say, because I was in the North Island, they'd come back in and say, "Oh, have you been down to the South Island recently?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, how did you know?" It's like,
Because
all your rubber shredded. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, they do it all the time. Kia, it's green, like a green parrot. Dean Stevenson, Ackerman, it does affect if you're missing a spacer. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Wait a minute. How would
Well, it depends which spacer he's talking about.
Ackerman is the angle of the steering arms,
Yeah.
right? Not the spacing of the wheels.
Well, okay. I'm not. Depends how you interpret what he just said, I guess. I was thinking he was meaning like a shimming in the suspension somewhere rather than a spacer. But if he's just meaning one wheel spacer and one not, then no, that wouldn't affect the Ackerman either. So I guess it depends quite what you were meaning there, bud.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Eat more possum.
Um,
Has anyone ever built a V12 based on a pair of 2JZs?
yeah, I think Kiwi's working on that right now.
No.
That's not your newest project?
No.
All right. So then don't go over to his channel and check it out.
Well, come over and check it out, but yeah, you won't find any J2.
Doug's Maintenance Shop. That's soy-based wiring installation that Ford used. Where I lived, we have a rat problem. Those cars get eaten up. I remember when they first started doing that, back in I guess it was
soy-based wiring
oh,
installation?
please, yeah. And they may have improved it since, okay? But if you look at like I'll tell you what cars were notorious for it with the town cars, like the Mark 7s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, where the wiring would literally just come apart. Like you have all kinds of weird electrical problems, and these cars were only like 5 or 6 years old at the time. You have all kinds of weird electrical problems, and you go to reach underneath the dashboard, like you pull on a harness, and just chunks of insulation would fall off in your hand.
Yeah, that's never going to end well, is it?
No, that's why you don't see those cars.
Mopar Man, hello. What the heck is that? Hello, Tony. I changed my name. I used to be Charger, but I just wondered what was your first old car you ever worked on?
First one that I ever worked on?
Mine was a 67 Chevy 4-door. I had one of those, a 67 Chevy 4-door sedan.
Okay.
Many years ago.
Yeah, I could be wrong. But there's the memory that comes to my mind now. I had a guy across the street from me named George Holly, and he was a mechanic, worked out of his house. And when I was a kid, I would go there and I would help him. I would clean parts and scrape gaskets and stuff like that. When I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. The first car I ever actually worked on belonged to a woman on the block. Her name was Diane Cuevas, and it was a gold 1966 Impala with a 283. And I did a tune-up on that car, and I was probably 12 or 13 years old.
And they let you do a tune-up on it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was with George, and
right.
At that point, I had already changed spark plugs, I had already changed points, I had done all of those things because I was helping him, and he'd show me, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the first car I ever worked on, it was a 67. It was a 67 Chevy with a 283.
Sir Crash-A-Lot. Kiwi, I've got Canada's version of what you called a Holden Tirana hatchback. Huh. 68 Reese. 68. Huh. I'd like to see that. That sounds so it's the year is a 1968. I didn't realise they were making Holden Tiranas back in 68.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
In a hatchback anyway.
You never saw my 68 Holden Tirana tattoo? Jeez. All right, never mind now.
Just finished the garage. Gene Turner, just finished the garage door sheathing and paint. My name is Tony.
Nice,
So
nice.
Gene's name is Tony.
Better you than me.
Hmm?
I hate doing work on a house. Like I changed the microwave last week, and it was like, what a major accomplishment that was. That's all. Housework is all about Kathy. She does all that stuff.
66 Ford Sean, A806. He's bought himself a Galaxy 500
66.
with
Oh,
a
that's a nice car.
289. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I like those. Chris Hanlon just purchased a 1986 Isuzu Trooper, and I'm getting it running again. I'm getting into most of the vacuum systems. What, if anything, should I keep to make sure it still performs okay? So that's got one of those distributors. It's got the two lines that go to the vacuum advanced canister. Oh, geez, what would you need on that? So one, you want to find out which of the nipples on the vacuum advanced canister actually creates advance, right? Jeez. You know what, bro? You need to, okay, because I'm thinking now that thing has an external advance unit that's operated off a vacuum. It's not inside the distributor. It's got a vacuum canister on it, but the mechanical advance isn't really mechanical advance. I don't know. You're going to have to actually talk to somebody. Like go to a forum that covers those and ask that question. I can't give you a straight answer on that.
Yeah, Tavo. Yeah, I remember the HP Tiranas, which were really just a Vauxhall Beaver in disguise. But they didn't make that on a hatchback, did they? Oh, he's meaning HB, not hatchback. Yeah, duh. Okay. HB was a model.
There were no Vauxhall Viva hatchbacks.
No. God, everybody
Come
knows
on,
that.
Kiwi.
You ever seen a Vauxhall Beaver?
Of course I have. I was born in a Vauxhall Viva.
Yeah.
Please.
He's so full of shit. Look, I'm catching you on the likes, man.
Only 113.
Well, I'm still catching.
You don't even have half of my.
Oh, the guys are going to start. They always save themselves for the last.
The
charge.
like barrage where everybody
Yeah.
just hits the like button.
Hit the likes
Yeah.
button just to make sure that I know I'm actually worth being here.
Oh, that's terrible. Why would you say that? You don't enjoy this bonding time?
No, I do. I mean, worthwhile for them, not me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they enjoy having me.
Have you
along.
guys? Okay, raise your hand if you have not subscribed to Kiwi's custom classic car creation customizer catastrophe channel. Kiwi's who? Yes, that one. Dean Stevenson, why haven't you not? Go over there. Look, okay, Zero, just put the link. Get over there and subscribe to this guy.
Dean, you're a Kiwi too, aren't you, buddy?
You know, he only has 6 months to live. You guys need to get over there now.
Just kidding. So you said just kidding.
Okay, but he's only got 6 months to live. You guys got to get over there now. I see you looking at me through. You guys got to get over there now.
This is news to me. I'm depressed now.
So am I.
Nobody told me.
I'm gonna miss you. So in a completely non-homo way. So you guys got to get over there and sub to his channel now. There's no time to spare. Yeah, save Kiwi. Thank you, Zero. Kiwi's chicken and crazies.
I mean, what is the time? 8:50. We're in there. You need to start hitting it now because we're kind of running out of time.
We're running out of time, and Kiwi's really running out of time.
I think we had a 15-minute intermission in the middle there because you hit the computer with your boot.
Well, we have 48 minutes left. Oh no, we have
that's all we
have 11 minutes left.
Yeah, we started about 7,
which is just enough time for everybody to show you
how
much they're going to miss you. Show Kiwi how much you're going to miss him by going over there and liking subscribing to his channel, and click on all of his videos. Watch the damn videos. Damn it. You know, he puts his heart and soul into these things. He's not like me. I just whip videos out real quick. I'm like, oh, Chad, just send
Oh,
a
yeah.
freaking video.
No,
No,
we have lighting and
yeah,
sound techs and
he
like it's a
puts his
big
heart
deal.
and soul into each of the, he tears up as he's creating these videos. Like he goes through editing and he's just got a box of Kleenex. So this
Mm.
is for my people, right? It's crazy. So you guys really have to go over there and watch all of his videos.
Yeah, 91 Mustang Alex got you Kiwi. I didn't actually see where you got me, but I'm sorry I missed it. Damn it. What did you do or say? Trying to look for it. Ah, Kiwis, clams, and cars. Oh. Hello from Bob DiMartino in Boston.
Oh, what's going on, Bob? Um, Annie Brown, Uncle T, would you ever do a video on how to tune up an engine using an old school analyzer? I never used them. They were a gimmick. They were a gimmick. They really didn't do anything. They really didn't do anything. It was a big show. It was a big show. The larger shops had them, and it was always like, it prominent. As soon as you pulled in, you'd see it as a big, giant analyzer on the back wall. And it was just a gimmick to sell tune-up parts, which you would be selling the customer anyway.
Dean Stevenson, I'd like you to send me 3 fastback Mercury Cougars, please. I can pay in 7 months. That's good, pay in 7 months because it takes about 3 years to build 3 of them. So, yeah.
Sergeant Mustang, what's the weirdest fuel you've always thought would be neat to work on? Nitroethane. Because for a while, okay, after the Oklahoma City bombing, I guess that was in like 95 or 96, there was a nitro shortage. And all of a sudden you couldn't get nitro. And then you needed licenses to get nitro. So I had talked at the time to somebody who worked for Barry Setzer in the early 70s, and they were running their car on nitrobutane. Everybody else was running nitromethane. The Barry Setzer car was running on nitrobutane. And then I heard that nitroethane was a reasonable substitute for nitromethane. So I started doing research into that. So there's different fuels like nitrobutane and nitroethane that I've often thought about playing around with, but I'm so far removed from that world that I don't even, like, we're talking 25 years in my past. But those are two fuels that I thought about messing around with. And yes, send money now. He needs the money. Watch the videos.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Tony and Kiwi, can I do that distributor trick on my Jeep 4.0 with the weights, etc.?
Yes. Yeah, as long as it's a mechanical advanced distributor.
There you go.
Okay.
What's the minimum thickness of an intake valve before having geometric movement at operating temperature?
What's the minimum thickness of an intake valve before having geometric movement at operating temperature? Dr. Vizard's a quarter-inch D valves. Bro, I think you're splitting hairs. You're splitting hairs. Nah, I don't know.
No, that's above my pay grade. Tony, can we get an extra hour because of Kiwi screw up?
Well, he's going to send.
Thanks, Mexican. I appreciate that.
He's sending everybody who's inconvenienced one of his new shirts. The Kiwi shirts. Your merch.
My merch.
Yeah, he's sending everybody who's inconvenienced by that little intermission that we took a merch package, all of his merch. He's sending it to you tonight when he leaves here.
So I'm heading towards the 20,000 mark well, still a bit to go, but
Really?
I'm going to get to 20,000.
20,000 subs. Oh my
and
God.
I'm going to we'll probably make something out of that. We'll do something for that.
I remember when I had 20,000 subs. I was a little kid. It was a
You mean you had the mental age of a little kid?
But yeah, that too. That was a long time ago.
Mm.
20,000 subs. Oh my God. Yeah, I was a little kid. Wet behind the ears. I don't even think I could
20,000
shave yet.
subs, and
To tell you the truth. But no, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Have you ever shaved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like
I'm trying to
completely
imagine
off?
a clean shaven
You don't
Tony.
want to. No, I look like a little kid. I look weird. It's like that's an old guy with this like baby face.
Oh, shit, really? All right.
Let's see. Yes, Kiwi needs shirts and stickers.
Yes.
Annie Brown, can you teach us how to use a brake line flaring tool? You could probably do that.
Where's that? What?
Annie Brown wants to know that.
Okay. How to use one.
Yeah.
Teach you how to use a brake line flaring tool. Okay. Sure, why not? I can do a video on that. I've got a couple of. I've got like the $30 cheapy ones that you get from O'Reilly's and that sort of thing, which you can use those. And I use them for a long time. I've got a kind of a little bit more upmarket one now that does nice stainless. But I mean, that's something guys struggle with regularly. So yeah, sure, not a bad idea. I will look
That's
at
a good
doing
tech
that.
video.
Yeah,
That's a good tech video.
yeah.
Actually, I was going to do one, so because I got to change the brake lines on that car. I still haven't, and I was going to do one on how to save the old brake lines.
Oh, okay.
Like cutting the rubber and it.
Cutting the rubber lines.
Yeah.
And what?
You heat the fitting with a MAP gas torch, but
Right.
if you don't cut the rubber lines first, it explodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll even pop, even with the rubber line off,
they'll
it'll still
pop.
pop. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to heat it with your head outside the wheel opening.
Oh yeah, you wear the brake fluid.
Yeah. You know how many people destroy their brake lines? They take a relatively simple job and it becomes this whole rigmarole where you got to be snaking lines all the way through the car.
I've popped a lot of rubber lines heating them, but
Yeah.
the hoses are usually shot anyway. So
Yeah, but it
doesn't
always
matter.
gets your attention. You know it's going to pop.
Yeah.
You know it's coming, but it's like when it happens.
Still wakes you up.
Yep.
Yeah. Still wakes you up.
Let's see. Alan, this is a good one. Alan Kwiatowski. Let's go back down there. Hey, I want to talk tech. How do you feel about me putting a 1988 Jeep Cherokee two-wheel drive front axle into my 66 Chevelle to make a straight axle gasser? How do you feel about that? It mounts
I
on
don't
coil
even know what
springs.
the front axle looked like on those.
It's
It was just a tube axle.
It's just a
wasn't it?
tube.
Okay.
Same as a four-wheel drive, except
But
it's
coil
a
springs
tube.
in like a 4-link setup.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coil springs on a 4-link. The only problem you're gonna the problem you're gonna have is mounting the coil springs if you're gonna go with the factory setup, because if you look at a Jeep, like if you look at one of these things, the way it's constructed, the coil spring is a very, very long coil spring, and it disappears up into the unibody. It's like it's got this giant unibody structure around the coil spring. So I don't know how that would transfer very well to a Chevelle. But I mean, those axles are so cheap, you might as well just pick one up and see if you can make it work.
Probably just a budget-friendly coilover shock would probably be the way to go.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how I would mount it.
But well, you've got mounting issues with the 4-link as well.
Yeah, you can have. There's a lot of geometric.
There's going to be some fabricating to do. For sure. No, it's not a terrible idea at all.
Yeah,
it's probably a lot cheaper than buying an off-the-shelf beam axle, which I'm sure you can look up on Summit, and there'll be a kit there to put it in your car.
Actually, you know what's conceivable is to just literally cut the front of the frame off of the Jeep and graft it to the frame on your Chevelle.
The Chevelle.
Yeah,
frame.
That might be doable. That might be doable, and make life very easy for you because your geometry is all straight, all there. You don't have to worry about where you're going to mount the trailing arms and the angles and the distances and stuff like that. Just cut the whole clip, roll it into the front of your car, and see how it works. Kiwi, we're down to the last 2 minutes here. Minute and 45 seconds, 44 seconds, 43 seconds, 42 seconds. I mean, this is going fast.
Well, the likes are catching. I'm only 100 behind now, but I think you've got me again this week.
Well, that's because they're going to miss you. And they want to show their appreciation. And they're hitting the like button, and that's always nice, but you really need to go over and subscribe. This is what makes them happy. This is what keeps them going, Oops, I almost screwed up that time. You always assume they had fronts, and no, and they don't have independence. It's a nice tube axle.
Kiwi, how do you use a vacuum gauge for tune-ups? Well, really, it's more than anything. It's for you use them for setting your idle mixtures. It's not really the whole tune-up.
Zero. Kiwi's channel. He calls this a channel.
Ooh, brutal.
Oh, that's cold,
I'm
Kiwi.
hurt. I'm
Zero.
hurt.
It's cold.
I'm hurt.
Uh,
Yeah.
but you can go over there
Back
and
to the
sub
tech.
for that
Like
line.
I don't know who this Zero guy is, but we're concentrating on the
That's
tech
my
side.
guy. That's my Zero right there.
Yeah, the vacuum gauge really you just you work with your timing and your fuel mixtures, your idle fuel mixtures, until you get the best amount of the most amount of vacuum you can at your chosen idle speed. Um, so yeah, as you improve the mixtures and timing, at idle, then your idle speed will come up, and you can keep backing the idle off, and then yeah, you're just searching for that the most vacuum that it will create.
All right, we're going to go to this last one here. Chris Hanlon, going from mechanical fuel pump to electric inline pump, 3 to 5 psi pump. Would I still need a fuel pressure regulator, or would the carb sort itself? Yes, you're good up on an Edelbrock Carter style carburetor. You get to 6 psi. On a Harley, you get to 7.5 psi. If you're using the Carter 50-gallon an hour pump, you do not need any type of regulator with that. And if you use the Holly red pump, it's self-regulated at 6.5 pounds. So it's the same as a blue pump. You have the same volume as a blue pump, but it's internally regulated to just under 7 pounds. So you don't need an external regulator. Did I answer that one okay?
You did?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
Yeah, I know you couldn't. That's why I have all of my subs. 20,000.
You're so modest.
That's impressive.
You're just a general all-round nice guy, and you're modest.
I'm extremely modest, bro. I'm extremely modest. So we've come to the end.
Yeah, we're out of time, guys.
We're way out of time. And Kiwi's almost out of time. So go over there and sub to his channel and watch his amazing videos that he puts his heart and soul
The
into.
one I posted today is doing really well. There's a lot of people watching and liking it. So
That's the
that's
one
what
with
you
the
guys can
massive
do now.
destruction. Yes. So
we named names on the dealer who sold it. And,
oh, that's cold. That's cold.
Well, it is what it is.
You're brutal, bro.
This is where the guy bought it from, and this is what they've not done for him. And yeah,
he's brutal. All right, guys. So listen, everybody contributed super chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. It pays for all this shit. Everybody contributed.
Taj Mahal of a workshop.
Oh, please, I can't wait to get out of this place. I've gotten to, I'm moving to a new shop in January, the end of January. I can't wait to get out of here now.
It has its own weather pattern in here, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's unreasonably large. I don't use 3/4 of what's here. So everybody contributed super chat. Thank you. Everybody contributed with your presence and your conversation.
Thanks to all the mods. Zero, Ari.
Yes.
Who else have we got? Zero, Ari.
Fubar.
Fubar.
I don't know if Fubar was with us tonight. Fubar's always with us. These guys are always with us.
Maybe he thinks it's on tomorrow night.
Fubar knows what we're doing.
He's got a finger on the
3
pulse.
weeks before we do it, Fubar has already got it on his schedule before we even think about it. So, got the live coming up with David Hakem, Mopar guru David Hakem, the most knowledgeable Mopar person on the planet.
That's coming up. You're doing it live?
Yes, we're going to do a live together.
What day?
Yeah, he makes me look like a silly little schoolgirl. The guy's just unreal. So
yeah, the ponytail doesn't help either.
Oh, besides that, I mean, like in terms of Mopar knowledge,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Right. And Kiwi, what do you want to promote? What do you want to say?
Just thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you got something out of it, a bit of entertainment, a bit of knowledge, hopefully, maybe somewhere along the line. And look after yourselves. And
he's such a nice guy. He's so straightforward, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hit some smiles to the mile. Go and drive your cars.
Good idea. Good night, all.
See you guys.